did bring
Good morning, Auburn. My name is Robert Wilkins. This is our 15th edition of Citizens Minutes. It's a cloudy, cold, windy day. In many parts of the northern part of the state of Alabama, it's snowy. I wish it had snowed here. I had my Eagle brand condensed milk ready to make my snow ice cream, but maybe it still will. I have a lot of appreciation for the city council members and the time that they give and the efforts they do to improve the city of Auburn. I actually cannot understand why our council gets only $7,200 a year, while our mayor gets $45,000 per year, and our city manager gets a whopping $250,000 per year. Of course, I brought that up several times before. I will move on. We had 4 citizens speak at the first 2025 city council meeting. One citizen gave wonderful praise of the council's efforts of 2024. One citizen thanked the council's efforts, but requested more efforts on people's issues. And one wished the council a happy new year. And the final citizen wanted to allow the citizens to elect the school board and how long they stay on that school board.
Susan Bolt, 1188 East University Drive. Happy New Year, Mayor, Council, and City Manager. I love this time of year. We just got finished celebrating Thanksgiving with our family and then the birth of our Lord at Christmas, and we had time to reflect on all the things to be grateful for. It's a great time to start over fresh and just have renewed optimism. I wanted to start the new year reflecting on our City of Auburn and some of the things that I'm thankful for as a City of Auburn. I truly love living in Auburn. Tonight I want to acknowledge some of the people and services that I appreciate in our city. As you know, I only have 3 minutes, so I'll be brief. For starters, the Citizens Academy that I was able to participate in, I don't know who spearheaded that program, but I thought it was an amazing program, and hats off to the person that did that. Allison Blankenship did a great job the year that I participated. All the department heads here in the room and not in the room, I've had an opportunity to meet a lot of you. It's obvious that you enjoy your job and do a good job, and you help make the city run smooth. Some of the other programs that I'm aware of and have participated in and appreciate are the used cooking oil collection, so that we can collect that and recycle it so we aren't dumping it out anywhere, so that it has to be picked up. The Electronics and Hazardous Waste Collection Day, I participated in that this year, and that was incredibly well organized. It moved fast, and it was very efficient. I keep hearing fantastic comments about the Town Creek Inclusive Playground. My kids are grown, but I always appreciate hearing families talk about that and getting to enjoy the resources. The bulk trash and trash amnesty pickups are very helpful and keeps Auburn looking great. I like the Fix It app. That's a nice way to do non-emergency issues. I've used that, and I'm very impressed with the response there. Of course, Parks and Rec always has a lot of activities for all ages, such as ballroom dance. And then I participated in the Auburn Toy Drive again this year at Christmas, and it's amazing to see the generosity of the Auburn citizens. But I also wanted to thank the mayor, city manager, and the city council for all that you do. I can only imagine the amount of time that's required to follow up on the many concerns from involved citizens. Mayor, I appreciate the amount of time that you spend as an ambassador for the city like you did earlier today. Mr. Griswold, as a small business owner celebrating 45 years in business, I particularly appreciate your questions about expenses and the reasoning behind how our tax money is spent. Please continue to do that. Mr. Mormon, my Ward 5 representative, I appreciate our candid conversations and your insightful and thought-provoking questions. Thank you for always responding and returning my phone calls, texts, and emails. To the entire City Council and Manager, thank you for also accepting, responding, and returning my phone calls when I have a question or concerns. My goal is to truly have a great Auburn. Thank you again, and Happy New Year.
Thank you. Before that starts, my printer didn't work, so I'm having to use my phone. We'll see how good I do. Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Robert Wilkins, 261 Denson Drive, Auburn. Resolutions for 2025. Auburn citizens' hopes, concerns, and desires for this City Council with its remaining 22-month term. This City Council has provided Auburn with better roads, increased jobs, increased business developments, city budget approvals, zoning approvals, and much more. But more emphasis needs to be on people issues. First Citizens Resolution to declare a citywide youth emergency in the City of Auburn while involving the entire community. On October the 18th, 2022, during the council meeting, Mayor Anders stated he was 11 years old when Frank Brown was opened, and nearly 50 years later that Lake Wilmore was built. But one speaker stated it was only about 25% of the youth recreational needs. We cannot allow the health and the well-being of our youth to be in jeopardy. Second Citizens Resolution, hold 2 meetings with Councilwoman Taylor and her constituents in Ward 1 with the mayor, city manager, chief of police, and the police officers who are assigned to that area in listening and understanding their issues. Third Citizens Resolution, try to figure out a way to stop the destruction of the once loveliest village on the plains and its community while too many residents and lifetime residents are leaving the Auburn area. Fourth Citizens Resolution, allow all 23 boards and commission positions to be open to all citizens instead of allowing 8, 10, and 12-year terms by a few. The more involved, the better. Fifth Citizens Resolution, the cost of Auburn's housing is outpacing most cities in Alabama. Auburn is blessed with the ability to generate revenue with less infrastructure than others, but it also can utilize the creativity of Auburn University. Figure out how to build houses at less cost, also setting up a foundation for the purchase of property or any other type of ideas. Sixth Citizens Resolution, keep Ordinance 3288, but add an exemption clause by allowing any Auburn citizen in any zone with proof of homestead exemption be allowed to have short-term rentals. It will be 4 years this March since Ordinance 3288 short-term rental was passed. We're requesting that this ordinance be improved and that certain Auburn residents no longer be punished. These 6 desires come from the heart and soul of the Auburn people. It is time that you listen to your families, friends, neighbors, and yes, your constituents. We citizens believe that there can be only one reason that you became a mayor or a council member, is that you love your citizens. Thank you.
Sarah Collins, 875 Cobb Drive. I just wanted to say Happy New Year. I'm looking forward to another great year with you all.
Hey, good evening. Jeff Walker, 2078 Autumn Ridge Way. I guess I'll echo with everyone else on Happy New Year. One of the things I kind of want to speak about this evening, one of the previous speakers mentioned that elections are coming up. I think we talked about it earlier in the mayor's announcements too. There is a group of that represent us here in Auburn. We're proud of our education here in Auburn. We have some of the best education in the state. But the citizens of Auburn are not allowed to vote on the school board members. I'm not sure really when that changed. I was probably younger and wasn't as politically active as I have become over the past few years. But today, if you want to, be part of the school board, it comes before this small group, and then the school board is selected out of that. I think it's time maybe we look at changing that, and maybe the school board should be part of our regular elections here in Auburn. It's something I'd like you all to think about and consider. As we have, the midterm elections coming up, nationally in a couple of years, it would give us a little time to plan and think through that. But today, if we don't agree with our school board, we really, as a citizenship, don't have an opportunity to change that. I'd also like to consider, maybe shorter terms or some term limits in our school board. There's some folks that have been there for a pretty long time. I don't know that you get any changes if you don't refresh blood there. One of the other things I know the school board kind of monitors and manages the school administration here in Auburn, and I just don't know that they're doing that properly today. I believe there may be some discrimination going on in our school systems targeting certain students, and that the school board and the administration of the schools are looking the other way or maybe a part of that. I have been and will continue to bring that up there at that forum. But as it stands today, as a voter, I don't have a voice when it comes to our school board. And I'd like to see you guys consider that and possibly change and allow the citizens of Auburn the opportunity to vote in or vote out new school board members, no different than we would if we in a ward were upset with your participation as council members or mayor. So I'd love for you to consider that, and I will probably come back and ask again and like to hear about it again later. Thank you.
Citizens question. Natasha asked, I noticed you mentioned 6 citizens for the 2025 resolutions. I'm in agreement with 2 of those resolutions, but how did you come up with these resolutions, Mr. Wilkins? Well, Natasha, I've delivered over 15,000 Uber Eats deliveries in the Auburn area since 2019. I've chatted literally with thousands of citizens and their concerns. 5 of the questions I gathered from the Auburn citizens, but 1 was from a ward meeting that I attended. A quote from Helen Keller, when one door of happiness closes, another opens. But often we look so long at the closed door that we do not see the one which had been opened for us. Please make comments or become a guest speaker on Citizens Minutes by going to nextdoor.com or youtube.com. Your counsel is only as good as the information you gather. Until Auburn's Voice.